Hello, and welcome back to our channel, where we teach you the English that actually exists in the real world, not just in textbooks.
Hi everyone. Today we're teaching you something that every English learner discovers the hard way when they arrive in an English-speaking country.
I'm Nancy.
And I'm Sam.
If you've ever studied English for years, felt confident, then arrived somewhere new and suddenly understood nothing, this video is for you. Please like and subscribe to our channel.
Today we're teaching you how to understand different English accents from around the world.
Because the English you learned in school and the English you hear on the street are sometimes completely different things.
We'll cover American, British, Scottish, Australian, Irish, Canadian, and South African accents, what makes each one unique, and how to train your ear.
Let's make sure you never stand in a foreign city feeling completely lost and alone. Nancy, I want to tell you about the most humbling experience of my English learning journey.
What happened?
I had studied English for 6 years. I watched American TV shows, I read English novels, I had conversations with American and British friends. I felt confident.
Impressive preparation.
So when I got the opportunity to move to Edinburgh, Scotland, for a 1-year work placement, I thought, perfect. I speak English. This will be easy.
Oh no.
My first day at work, my new Scottish colleague walked up to me, smiled warmly, and said,
What did he say?
I have absolutely no idea. I understood maybe 4 words out of the whole sentence. He had a very strong Scottish accent. He looked at me expectantly, waiting for a response, and I just smiled and nodded.
Oh, Nancy.
He spoke again. I nodded again. He said something else. I nodded again. He was probably telling me where the bathroom was or introducing me to someone important, and I was just standing there nodding like a bobblehead doll.
How long did this go on?
3 months, Sam. 3 months, where I understood maybe 40% of what people around me said every day. I went to the supermarket and couldn't understand the cashier. I went to a cafe and had to point at the menu because I didn't understand the server. I sat in a work meeting, gaining understanding of the documents, but not the conversations happening around me.
How did you feel?
Like the stupidest person in the world. I had studied English for 6 years, but apparently I had studied one version of English, American English, and Scotland was speaking a completely different version.
Did you tell people you were struggling?
I was too embarrassed. For the first month, I just smiled and nodded and pretended I understood. Then I made the mistake of nodding when my manager asked if I could present at an important meeting the following week.
You didn't understand the question.
I thought she asked if I was enjoying the work. I nodded enthusiastically. Then 3 days later, someone said, "Are you ready for your presentation?" And I said, "What presentation?"
Oh, Nancy.
My manager was not happy. She called me into her office and said, "Why didn't you tell me you were struggling to understand the accent? I could have helped you." And I broke down in tears and admitted I hadn't understood most of what was happening around me for a month.
What did she do?
She was actually wonderful. She paired me with a patient colleague who would repeat things clearly, she slowed down in meetings, and she pointed me to resources for Scottish vocabulary. Within 6 more weeks, I was understanding 90% of conversations.
So the solution existed, you just needed to ask for help.
And understand why accents are so different. If I had known what I was walking into, I wouldn't have spent 3 months nodding at things I didn't understand.
And you wouldn't have accidentally volunteered for a surprise presentation.
That presentation was actually excellent, but for all the wrong reasons. If this lesson helps even one person arriving in a new English-speaking country, then those 3 months of confusion were worth it.
And let's make sure nobody else spends 3 months nodding at things they don't understand.
Transition to learning objectives.
What will we learn today?
First, we'll explain why accents are so different, the historical reasons that make perfect sense once you understand them.
Second, we'll break down the main English accents you'll encounter, what makes each one unique, and how to train your ear.
Third, we'll teach you the key vocabulary differences that trip people up most.
Fourth, we'll give you the exact phrases to ask for repetition without feeling embarrassed.
And finally, we'll teach you how to train your ear to understand accents faster.
Let's start with why English accents are so dramatically different.
Sam, why is there such a huge difference between accents? They're all English.
Because English has been evolving separately in different places for hundreds of years.
The history in 60 seconds.
English started in England around 1500 years ago. Then it spread to America in the 1600s, to Australia in the 1700s, to Canada, South Africa, India, and elsewhere across centuries.
Each location developed differently because they mixed with local languages and people, they were cut off from each other, no internet, slow travel, they developed their own cultural identities, and different immigrant groups influenced each other.
So American English and British English have been evolving separately for 400 years.
That's why they sound so different even though they're the same language.
3 main differences between accents.
1. Pronunciation. The same letters sound completely different.
2. Vocabulary. Different words for the same things.
3. Rhythm and speed. Different musical patterns of speech.
Understanding these 3 differences helps you decode any accent faster.
Let's meet the main accents you'll encounter.
Accent 1, American English.
What makes it unique? Rhotic accent. The letter R is always pronounced even at the end of words. Car sounds like car. Water sounds like water. T in the middle of words becomes a soft D. Better becomes better, and water becomes water. Generally clear and widely understood from global media exposure.
Regional variations within America are quite diverse. Southern American, slower, elongated vowels like y'all and fixin' to. New York drops some redders like coffee becomes coffee, and Midwestern considered the neutral American accent.
Most English learners study this accent because of Hollywood.
Accent 2, British English, received pronunciation or RP.
What makes it unique? Non-rhotic. The R at the end of words is often not pronounced. Car sounds like ka. Water sounds like wata. T is crisp and clear, never softened. Vowels are often shorter and crisper.
Regional variations within Britain are significant. London, Cockney, posh, estuary English. Northern English, Manchester, Liverpool, Yorkshire. Welsh English, a sing-song musical quality. And then there's Scotland.
Accent 3, Scottish English.
This is what defeated Nancy for 3 months.
What makes it unique? Very rhotic. R is rolled or trilled in many regions. Vowel sounds are very different from other British accents. Fast pace with a unique rhythm, heavy influence from the Scottish Gaelic language, unique vocabulary, we'll cover this soon, specific features, A instead of yes, we means small or little, dene means don't, ach is an expression like oh, and kane means can't.
So when my colleague said something with kane and we and a, I heard completely unfamiliar sounds and words.
Accent 4, Australian English.
What makes it unique is distinctive vowel sounds. Aussie vowels are quite different from other accents. Rising intonation at the end of sentences. Sounds like a question even when it's a statement. Very casual, informal register, frequent use of shortened words.
Unique features. Words often shortened. Afternoon becomes arvo, biscuit becomes bicky, service station becomes servo, bidet is good day, no worries is you're welcome or it's fine, and reckon means think or believe, and upspeak means sentences sound like questions.
The rising intonation trips people up. It sounds like a question, but it's a statement.
Accent 5, Irish English.
What makes it unique is a musical, lilting quality with beautiful rhythm. Rhotic, R is pronounced, different vowel sounds from British English, and some unique vocabulary.
Unique features. Grand means great, fine, or wonderful. Crack means fun or good time. Yoke means thing or gadget. Gas means funny. And questions formed differently. I do, yeah, instead of yes, I do. Irish English is generally considered very warm and easy to like.
Accent 6, Canadian English.
What makes it unique? Very similar to American English, but with some British influences. Canadian raising. The vowel in words like about sounds like a boot to some ears. and a at the end of sentences seeking agreement. Generally very neutral and easy to understand.
Canadians are often amused when Americans think they sound the same.
Accent 7, South African English.
What makes it unique is influenced by Afrikaans, Zulu, Xhosa, and other local languages, distinctive vowel sounds, and unique vocabulary from local languages.
Unique features: braai, barbecue; lekker, nice, great; shame, used to express sympathy, like, aw, shame, oh, that's sad; and robot, traffic light.
Imagine stopping at a robot in South Africa and being confused why there are no robots.
Key vocabulary differences that trip people up. This is crucial. The same object has completely different names in different countries.
Transportation: American English, British, Australian English.
Freeway/highway, motorway, truck, lorry, British, gas, petrol, parking lot, car park, subway, underground/tube, London, metro, other cities.
So, fish and chips in Britain means fish and fries, not fish and potato crisps.
French fries, chips, British Australian. Chips, crisps, British. Candy, sweets, British. Cookie, biscuit, British Australian. Eggplant, aubergine, British. Zucchini, courgette, British.
So, fish and chips in Britain means fish and fries, not fish and potato crisps.
The most important skill: how to ask people to repeat themselves politely.
Remember, I was too embarrassed to ask and nodded for 3 months. Don't make my mistake.
Phrases for asking repetition.
Level 1, gentle, first time asking. I'm sorry, could you say that again? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Pardon, could you repeat that? Sorry, could you speak a little more slowly?
Level 2, more direct, if still not understanding. I'm really sorry, I'm still getting used to the accent. Could you say that more slowly? Could you rephrase that? I want to make sure I understand correctly. I'm having trouble with some of the words. Could you break it down for me?
Level 3, full honesty, when you're really lost. I have to be honest, I'm struggling a bit with the accent. Could you write that down for me? I'm still adjusting to Scottish, Australian, Irish, English. Could you help me out? My English teacher didn't prepare me for Scottish accents. Could you say that differently?
That last one usually gets a laugh and breaks the tension.
Important, people are not offended when you ask for repetition.
Most people are happy to help. They've met language learners before.
The only person suffering when you don't ask is you, nodding at things you don't understand.
What to say when you understand some but not all?
I caught most of that. Could you just repeat the last part or first part? I understood topic, but I missed the details. Could you repeat those?
This shows you're engaged in listening, not completely lost. Let's practice. I'm a Scottish shopkeeper. You ask for directions. I speak with a strong Scottish accent. Okay. Hi, I'm looking for the train station. Could you help me? Aye, nae bother. You just go down the road, take a wee left at the lights, and it's just past the big brae buildings on your right. I'm so sorry. I'm still getting used to Scottish English. Could you say that more slowly? I want to make sure I have the directions right. Of course, no problem. Go down this road, turn left at the traffic lights, and the station is just past the grey buildings on your right. Thank you so much. So left at the traffic lights, then the grey buildings on the right. That's it. Aye, you've got it. Thank you so much. That's very helpful. Perfect. What did you do right? 1, I didn't pretend to understand and was walking in the wrong direction. 2, I acknowledged the accent specifically, still getting used to Scottish English. 3, I didn't blame them. I framed it as my adjustment. 4, I repeated back what I understood to confirm. 5, I said thank you genuinely. And I was happy to repeat. It took 20 extra seconds and you found the station. Thus is walking in the wrong direction for 20 minutes because you nodded and pretended. How do you get better at understanding different accents over time? Exercise 1, accent-specific media. Watch content from the country whose accent you want to understand. For British accents, BBC News, clear RP accent. Peaky Blinders, Birmingham accent. Downton Abbey, posh British. EastEnders, London/Cockney. For Scottish accents, Still Game, very Scottish. Outlander, Scottish historical. Scottish news channels on YouTube. For Australian accents, Neighbours or Home and Away, classic Australian. The Australian News, Australian YouTube creators. For Irish accents, Normal People, mild Irish. Mrs. Brown's Boys, strong Dublin. Any RTE, Irish National Broadcaster content. Start with subtitles in English, then remove them as you improve. Exercise 2, the shadowing technique. Listen to a native speaker of the accent you want to understand, then repeat what they say. This trains your ear and your mouth simultaneously. Find a short 30-second video clip in the accent you're studying. Listen once fully. Listen again and repeat everything you hear. Focus on the sounds that confuse you. Do this for 5 minutes daily with different speakers. Exercise 3, the One Accent Challenge. Pick one accent per month to focus on. January, American English. February, British RP. March, Australian. April, Scottish. Concentrated exposure to one accent helps your brain build specific sound recognition patterns. Exercise 4, listen to the same news story in multiple accents. Find a big news story, then find coverage from BBC, British, CNN, American, ABC Australian, Australian, CBC, Canadian. Same story, same words, completely different sounds. Your brain learns that these different sounds represent the same words. Exercise 5, podcasts with transcripts. Find podcasts that include written transcripts. Read the transcript, then listen to the audio. When you know what they're saying, your ear focuses on learning how they say it. This is incredibly efficient for accent training. Let's practice vocabulary differences. I'm an Australian friend showing you around. Pay attention to unfamiliar words. Okay. Hey, welcome to Melbourne. How is your avo? Do you want to grab some biscuits and a cuppa before we hit the servo? I love the enthusiasm. I have to admit, arvo, biscuits, cuppa, servo, I'm not sure about all of those. Can you translate? Oh, sorry. Avo means afternoon. Cuppa means cup of tea or coffee. Biscuits means cookies. And servo is petrol station. I want to fill up the car before we drive. Oh, so you're asking if I want cookies and coffee before we go to the gas station? Gas station? Huh, you sound so American. But yes, exactly that. I love it. Lead the way. Though I might need a translation guide for the rest of the day. I'll be your personal interpreter. Welcome to Straya. Straya. Australia. Australian shorten everything. That roleplay showed the key strategy. Ask when you don't understand the vocabulary. I wasn't offended at all. I was happy to explain. Vocabulary differences are not embarrassing. They're just different systems. And asking creates connection. Now we're laughing together instead of me being confused and stressed. Let's talk about the emotional side, because feeling lost linguistically is genuinely hard. It's not just inconvenient. It affects your confidence, your identity, and your sense of belonging. What to remember when you're struggling? It's temporary. Your brain will adjust, I promise. Research shows that with consistent exposure, most people begin to understand a new accent significantly better within 4 to 6 weeks. The first 3 weeks are the hardest. Push through. Native speakers understand this. People who have strong regional accents have usually seen confused faces before. Most people slow down and help when you ask. You're not losing your English, you're expanding it. Every accent you learn to understand adds a new layer to your English ability. You're not getting worse, you're getting better at a harder thing. Ask for help early. Don't wait pre-months like I did. Tell people, I'm still adjusting to the accent. Please be patient with me. Most people respond with warmth and extra care. Celebrate small wins. Today I understood the coffee order without asking for repetition. This week I followed the whole team meeting. I understood a joke in a regional accent and I laughed at the right moment. These small victories are huge. Celebrate them. Let's summarize everything we learned today. Today, we learned how to understand different English accents from around the world. We learned why accents are so different, 400 years of separate evolution, local language influences, and cultural identity development. We learned the main accents. American English, rhotic, T becomes D, widely familiar for media. British RP, non-rhotic, crisp T, shorter vowels. Scottish English, strong R, unique vocabulary, rhythmic pace. Australian English, distinctive vowels, rising intonation, shortened words. Irish English, musical, lilting, unique vocabulary. Canadian English, similar to American but distinct. South African English, influenced by local languages, unique vocabulary. We learned key vocabulary differences. French fries versus chips, apartment versus flat, elevator versus lift, cell phone versus mobile, trash can versus bin, gas versus petrol. We learned phrases for asking repetition from gentle, could you say that again, to direct. I'm struggling with the accent, could you write that down? We learned 5 training exercises. 1. Accent-specific media with English subtitles. 2. The shadowing technique, listen and repeat. 3. 1 accent per month challenge. 4. Same news story in multiple accents. 5. Podcasts with transcripts. And we learned the emotional survival guide. It's temporary, native speakers understand, you're expanding, not losing. Ask for help early and celebrate small wins. The key lesson, there is no single correct English accent. Every accent is a valid, beautiful version of the language. Your job isn't to understand the right English, It's to expand your ability to understand all English. And the most important phrase in any accent-heavy situation. I'm sorry, could you say that again? 5 words that save you from 3 months of nodding. Time for our question of the day. This one will generate great stories. Have you ever been completely lost because of a regional accent? Where were you and what happened? Or, which English accent do you find hardest to understand? Comment below. We want to hear your accent struggles and victories. Your stories will help other learners feel less alone when they're standing in a Scottish supermarket and understanding nothing. Comment below. We read every single one. Before we go, Nancy, if you could go back to your first day in Edinburgh, what would you do differently? The moment I realized I couldn't understand my Scottish colleague, instead of nodding and smiling, I would say, I'm so sorry, I'm still adjusting to Scottish English. I really want to understand you properly. Could you speak a little more slowly until I get my ear adjusted? And your colleague would have helped immediately. And I would have understood where the bathroom was, instead of nodding and then wandering the office for 5 minutes looking for it. I found it eventually, but 3 months of confusion, 1 surprise presentation, and a tearful manager's meeting later, I wish I'd asked for help on day 1. If this lesson helps you navigate a new English-speaking environment with more confidence, please give us a thumbs up. Share this with anyone moving to a new English-speaking country or anyone who's ever felt lost because of an accent. If you're new to our channel, subscribe to our channel. We upload practical English lessons every single day. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Remember, there is no wrong accent and no wrong question. Every "could you repeat that" is a step towards understanding. Don't nod at things you don't understand. Ask, learn, grow. Keep learning, keep listening, and remember, every accent is English. You can learn to understand them all. You've got this. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye.